Hello. Okay. Hi. I'm live. It's Abby, by the way, and today, I don't know, can you see me from back there? Maybe you can. All right. I'm trying something new. I'm doing it upstairs today. Why? Because my workspace is a disaster. All right. Like, you don't even want to know right now. So, I've been busy trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done, and I'm just trying to figure out how best to work this. Hold on. I was trying to figure this out, a setup earlier, and it just wasn't quite working, and I thought I had something. All right, maybe, can you see? And I figured the lighting is better. All right, much better. Yay, hi. So, let me move some of the stuff out of the way. As you know, I like to keep everything close on hand, so. And this is not a commercial, it's just this is stuff I use. Oh, this table's really dirty now. But, so I've had a few requests for videos, and Lorraine had a really good one about stains. And stains, it's going to be a hit or miss kind of thing, because if you don't get to them right away, they're going to stay in there. Some of them will. Depends on what it is. But her specific question, because she likes to buy secondhand clothes, and I like to as well. Like it's fantastic that we can do that, or getting hand-me-down. Okay, am I back? Okay, I'm back. Good. This huge bowl of water is like distracting too. I got disconnected. Our internet reception is not very great upstairs. Our modem's downstairs. But can you get old stains out of secondhand clothes? Is something along those lines. And it depends on the state. As I was saying before, it really does depend on the state. Some, there's no hope in hell that you're ever going to rescue them. And it's a shame that, you know, it has to go to waste, but maybe it's stuff you can wear around the house. And two, some are rescuable. But as I said before, it all depends. And I found a few things that they're absolutely impossible to get out. Sorry, I'm just totally distracted by the light. Always looking for my light, right? That's one thing I gotta learn about is lighting. But things like banana, avocado, formula, they're impossible unless you get to them right away. They're like point blank. Let me show you. I know, I'm always like, let me show you. Wait just 1 minute here. So I've tried my best. This is one of my daughter's old onesies. Like the label came out. The print-on label. But this is a formula stain from when she was like baby. So you can see the little bit of yellow still there. Now back then, when I was a new mom, I had no idea how to get rid of stuff. And I didn't think that, oh, okay, you know, it's gonna wash out, because I was never really a messy person. I'd never really cared about stains before because it didn't really happen to me. As soon as I had my daughter, stains galore. And I thought, oh, okay, it's gonna wash out. It didn't wash out. Multiple washes, it didn't wash out. And this was a really, really cute onesie. Who made this again? Is this one in the States? Yeah, it is. But did not come out. I tried. And I used to use all the baby detergents, like the organic, earth safe, phosphate free, gentle baby detergents. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of those do not get out stains at all. So what I started doing after I figured this out one day, that this might blow your mind. You might be like, what? But one day I was so desperate. I knew the other detergent wasn't working, and my daughter just got just solid food all over. It was like mushed up banana chaos all over her onesie. And she didn't like to wear bibs either. So what I did is I had the dish soap right there. I was in the kitchen. I thought, okay, I gotta get this off. Like, I gotta get this stuff off fast. Like, the bananas gotta get to the sink, perfect. And I use kind of little scrubber, something that's not too abrasive to break the fibers of the fabric, but just enough to get the stuff out. Okay, this stain happened before I learned this trick. But what I did is I took some dish soap, Dawn. Dawn is like the bomb for getting out stains. But I put it on after I wet the shirt, and I scrubbed gently, and scrub, 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 scrub. And I knew I was doing a pile of laundry that day, so I let it sit. Kind of soak up all crusty and disgusting mess. And you know that when you leave banana on stuff, mashed up banana or avocado, it turns brown, and it's impossible to get out. Sorry, that was like, it's like ASMR. I don't know if you can hear that. But it's impossible to get out. Oh, and it works just as good too. From when she was really little, looks like that. Okay, there's no hope in saving that ever. And I couldn't pass any of that stuff on, so it just kind of sat around as a waste. And I know I've kept it around, but you know, just have it around. Especially if you're gonna use rags or something. Or somebody doesn't care. They're like, oh, they're just gonna wear it around the house. But that was brilliant just for getting those out. And I wish I had known that sooner, because I was very much into the green, like, mama, I'm gonna use everything organic and there's not gonna be no harsh chemicals. And I wasted a whole ton of money on stuff that didn't work and that destroyed her clothes. It's either it didn't, just, oh, it just makes me so mad thinking about how silly I used to be. And there are some really great organic products out there, but for some of the laundry detergents for babies wasn't very good, and they were hard to find. It's not like now where everything's organic and pure and amazing clouds of heaven just floating down to clean your children's laundry. But back then it wasn't that great. And this is like a matter of 4 years, 5 years, okay? And sorry, I'm just looking off at my notepad too as I go. But I wish I'd known that sooner. Like, the Dawn got out everything. It got out just milk, it got out banana, avocado, tomato sauce, poop, blood, you name it, it got it out. And then what I started doing too is, for the stuff that really didn't come out, I started using, and I'm not sponsored, I'm not plugging anything, Tide. I gave it up. I'm sorry. I gave up my organic baby safe cleaners and I started using this. And you know what? My daughter was fine. And for the first little while, I was really paranoid after using a detergent like this, a regular detergent, on a baby. I started rewashing again. So wasting water, because I was scared it was going to hurt her skin. Nothing. Never hurt her at all. And if you're so scared, those. These are great, but they also sell the liquid form. So this is Free and Gentle Tide. Love this too. I've also heard good things about Persol, I think it's called, which is really, really great. My sister-in-law was using that for a while and she swears by it. But the Tide was great. And also I found that the natural, and I know I was like all down on the natural. I'm not completely down on natural products, but I can't even remember what it's called because I can't get it here where I used to be able to get it in the city. But it was a pet stain remover and it was natural enzyme cleaner. So it was like hydrogen peroxide, which you have to be really careful about what you use that on because it will discolor some fabrics. But if you're using it on stuff that's light colored and you wash it right away, you should be good. But that stuff was amazing at getting stains out. Like, it's even better. Like, I bought this one day because I was desperate. Garbage. Does not work at all. Don't even bother. And I know somebody's going to be like, but I love Resolve Oxy Action. If it works for you, great. It did not work for me whatsoever. I have a husband who's in construction. and a very busy little girl that likes to make a lot of messes. So it did not work for me. And the other thing was too, OxyPro. Now this stuff is a little different. It's a powder. Okay. So you can see that there. So the powder stuff, what you have to do is, it depends on the situation. So if it's something that's kind of dried in, like this bad boy, I would wet it first. See, I haven't done any of these. I should go do all these because I have quite a few friends having babies now. But you would wet this just a little bit with some warm water, put some of the powder on toothbrush and gently scrub. And it's going to be harder on things that have embroidery or decals because you don't own any of that kind of stuff. And also too, the embroidery will lock the stains in like you will not believe. So you just gotta kind of get in there on the angles, and that should help a little bit. But I found those to be pretty good. But then again, I cannot say enough about Dawn dish soap. And I know you guys are gonna be like, what dish soap? Are you crazy? Yeah, I am crazy. Different story. But let's see, like my daughter's pants. And I know I'm always pulling stuff out, but I find it's really great. Now, my daughter she gets really excited when she jumps off the potty. And one time there was a little something extra special just hanging on down there, and she jumped off and she got it all on the inside. So instead of stepping off the potty and wiping and doing everything she had to do, she jumped up and she's like, yes, I did it, woo! And she definitely did do it in here because whatever was left was right in there. I thought, oh no, these are white, it's never gonna come out ever. And she's been wearing these pants for a while, and not a single little poop particle is left in there, let me tell you. And you know why? I took them right away downstairs to the by the toilet upstairs. I hope she doesn't see this one day and is really embarrassed. I might have to delete this when she's older and redo this video. But I took out what I could, and I didn't want to bleach it because bleach slowly does eat away. Great for getting out stains, but it also can yellow your clothes and break down the fibers. There's natural hydrogen peroxide bleach, which is okay. It's not as bad, but I don't know. My husband always jokes I have a weird thing about bleach. Maybe it was just growing up, the smell of bleach from my neighbors. It just kind of turned me off of it. It made me feel sick, so I don't like using it. But, after I scraped everything out, I took it downstairs, put my rubber gloves on, got out my detergent and my Dawn soap, and I wet it, and I just coated it, just like put it all in there, and I just rubbed it together as much as I could and let it sit for a little bit. And then I threw it hot water, and I know I'm always telling people wash things on cool water. I did hot water. I did the heavily soiled function on my on my clothes washer. Sorry, I have not had a lot of sleep lately. So I'm a little delirious, weird, I don't know. And it worked. These pants are white as can be. It came out, there's no problems. So those are like my two favorite things of all time. But there's, for the old stuff, which I'm gonna get into now, like, it's really hard. I experimented yesterday. So this one, it had spit up all over the shoulder. And I know the light's really bad in here. So you can see just a slight bit of yellow left, but it was like bright yellow, just a little bit lighter than the yellow in the bottom of the dress. And what I did is I used the Tide, and I scrubbed it in very, very gently, and I let it sit for a little bit, and then I put it in the washer, and I did it warm water and heavily soiled, and I got most of it out. It might take another treatment to get the rest out, but it's pretty good. And this is something that I was hoping to pass down to a friend. So I think we did pretty good on that one. For tough stains, old stains, it's going to take a little bit more elbow grease and a little bit more patience to get them out. You're not going to get everything out. Like, perfect example. Did I bring up that other onesie? Oh, I did not. Oh, it was pretty heinous. Well, even that one's pretty good. Sorry, I'm just surprised at my stain fighting skills here. You like this one too. This was all yellow on the top. Never let a kid eat yellow popsicles in a white dress. But that is now gone. So yet again, another dress saved for another little girl to wear. I have like a whole bin full of stained clothes, and every once in a while I get brave enough to go through. And I hear somebody else is having another look. I'm like, yes, okay, have some clothes. Because I feel bad about throwing clothes out. Like, really, really terrible. Like, unless it's beyond repair, I'm not tossing it. I'm going to find a way to reuse it or to save it somehow. Because I've seen a few documentaries on the wastefulness of our modern society and how we just throw everything out, even if it's got a small tear or if it's got a little tiny stain. There's a way, even if you have to patch something, sew up a seam, or put in a little bit of extra time to save something, I believe it's worth it if it keeps something out of the landfill. And even if you donate around anywhere in North America, I know I'm getting totally off topic, but this is something I kind of feel very strongly about. A lot of donations, they don't all stay here, end up making it to the sales floor. So if you donate something to the Sally Ann, Value Village, whatever, it they get such a huge volume of clothes that they sometimes sell it off. And not all donation stores will do this. Not all of them. Some do. But with the advent of fast fashion when you think about it. But with fast fashion, we have so much more and we consume so much more. And we get rid of so much more because we don't have space to keep so much more. And it becomes a problem. You have all this stuff and you're like, okay, I'm going to donate it. And you go and donate it, and it just sits and it sits and it sits. And they have to eventually rotate product out seasonally too. It's winter's coming. Okay, they're not going to have a whole bunch of shorts and t-shirts, and they have nowhere to store it till next summer. Like, I've never worked at a Value Village, but I've seen quite a few stories. There was a really great one on CBC Marketplace a while back, which maybe I'll find the link and try and put it down below. But a lot of clothes, when they don't sell, or if they have too much to sell, they sell it to a third party, and that third party, they can either hold on to it and sell it separately, and then there's grades of used clothes. So there's grade A, grade B, grade C, 1, 2, 3, whatever they want to call it. So stuff that's still high quality, it can still be sold off here at a decent price. B is kind of medium quality, and you can still sell it to some of the lower kind of thrift stores, which is great. And then C, nobody wants it. So what happens? They package it up and they sell it to another fourth party seller overseas. And this usually comes to world nations where they sell it in markets. So that fourth party seller will sell it to dealers in clothing markets. So it could be anywhere, these clothing markets. And half the time, the people that go to the clothing markets, they don't want these clothes. They've got stains, they got holes, they're disgusting, they're outdated with terrible fibers and terrible styles, and they don't want to wear it. They don't, because they see what people are wearing everywhere else, and nobody wants to wear holy clothes. So it ends up in the garbage, except the garbage isn't just a garbage, it's on the street. So tell me how that makes sense. It just blows my mind. So that's why I just, I do my part every little bit that I can to rescue as many clothes as I can to keep them out of a landfill, to keep them out of somebody's front yard, out of somebody's backyard. Like, it's not right that people have to live like that. And I know that sounds kind of preachy, but it's just after seeing a few of those, it just blew my mind. And that's why I try and be more mindful about what I consume and what I produce too. Like, just like recycling, just like composting and sorting all of that business out, you should really think about how you sort out the things that you donate, whether it be electronics, clothes, books, whatever. Be mindful of where it's going and what the potential of it is. And if you can save it and pass it on to somebody you know who will love it and use it and cherish it, that's great. And be mindful of when you purchase things as well. Because if you are buying used garments online, you really need to see photos and you really need to ask a lot of questions, because there have been times I bought vintage stuff online and it's come in less than stellar condition that I can repair things as much as I can. But for other people who are not so fortunate, and you feel cheated, and then you just get rid of it, and then it's part of the problem again. So ask questions, make sure that these items are looked at and that they're in fair condition, acceptable condition for yourself and what your expectations of the garment are. Otherwise, you're going to get screwed over. And there are a lot of really great consignment-based kids programs, which I'm going to have to find the links and just put them in the description below. Now, keep in mind, I am not technology savvy, so I might just type in the links because I have no idea how to do it. Like, I'm old school. Like, I know HTML. Old school HTML, href, in brackets, link, right? And I noticed that does not work on YouTube. I've tried a few times, so if anybody has any tips on how to work with that, I've been trying to look that up, and it's just like, the curtains close, the blinds close, and it's over my head all at the same time. But I will be sure to link those as well. And there are some really great subscription box programs where they will take gently used clothes, and these are third-party vendors. They will take you. It's like a consignment, almost like a consignment in a way, but you send in the clothes that your child is not using. You sign up, you send in the clothes your child is not using, and they'll pick through what they want to keep, and they'll send back to you what they don't think that they can send to somebody else in the service, and they clean it all up, they package it all up, and then they send it off to another person who's a part of the service. And so when you're done with those clothes, then you send them back. It's a really interesting concept, and there's a few different variations of these kinds of businesses, but it's a great idea, and it definitely saves a lot of money, and it's at the same time. So I'll have to link that down below. It's like, I just thought of it now. That's why I'm not prepared. I'm like, oh yeah, the name, because I was so busy looking up stains and writing stuff down and doing this and doing experiments. And I'm new to this YouTube world. Sorry, I'm gonna make a lot of apologies, and people will joke, that's because you're Canadian. Yeah, it is kind of, but it's just me. Sorry, tea. Talking a lot. You gotta drink. Like seriously, your throat gets all dry. Maybe it's just the winter time. But I will be sure to look into those subscription boxes and talk about those. Maybe I'll do that for another video. That is an idea. Let me write that down. See, this is what live happens. Let's write it down. Subscription box. Kids. Thrift clothes. But there's so many different ways that you can do. Well, I'll get into that later, but am I back? Yay! I lost you guys. Okay. Oh, wait. Maybe I'll move it closer. Struggling with the internet connection here. Oh my god. What is that noise outside? Okay, hold on. Let's investigate. What is that? Oh, the leaf truck finally comes. My husband's going to be so mad. He finally bagged up all of our leaves. He gave up on the leaf truck coming, and he gave up. He's like, fine, it's been a month. It's not coming. And he bagged it all up the other day. So you just saw my messy house. All right. We good? All right. Oh, also, just looking through my notes while I was waiting to come back. Some other possible solutions too. So like baby formula, which I was talking about before, it is impossible. But you can try this one before, but I read about it. I want to try it now, and I'll probably let you know how it turns out. So make a paste with meat tenderizer and water and rub it into the fabric, and then rinse and launder. So I'm wondering what the meat tenderizer does, but I've never found anything to combat dried up, old, stained on baby formula. I'm curious to see. I'm gonna have to try that. I'll have to find meat tenderizer first. I have no idea where to get that, and give it a try. And the other big one, oil. And let me tell you a funny story about oil. So they say here you could use baking soda, so moisten the fabric and sprinkle baking soda and allow it to absorb up the excess oil and then blot it off and then wash it. But let me tell you a funny story. So my mother-in-law is watching her granddaughter, and she nannies her granddaughter. She takes care of her. Now, she has had 4 kids, and she's looked after 6 grandkids at one point in time in her life, and she was also a nanny for a long time. And so she was at home with her granddaughter, like she is every day, and she was on the phone talking to one of the cousins. And so the little one, she got into the Vaseline, and she didn't just put her hands in the Vaseline and she's like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, no. She took it, she spread it all over my sister-in-law's brand new couch, and she put it all in her hair, and then all over her clothes, and she was glistening. Everything was just slippery and covered in Vaseline. So I'm at home, and I'm with my other sister-in-law, and we're having a nice chat over coffee. And we get this panic call from my mother-in-law. She's like, oh my God, you won't believe what she did. She took the Vaseline and it's everywhere, everything. What am I gonna do when her mother gets home? What am I gonna do? She's freaking out. And we're like, whoa, calm down. And we can't understand her, first of all, because she's talking really fast and she has a very, very heavy accent. Blah. We're both struggling to understand her. And my sister-in-law is sitting there and she's like, Mom, please, like, talk slower, calm down. I'm sure we can fix this problem. And she's like, no, you don't understand. She's gonna kill me. This is a new couch that they just got. And I said, okay, what did she do? Like, what did she use? And she's like, it's a tub of petroleum, the Vaseline. And I was like, oh, okay. So she was more concerned about getting the stain out of the couch than the kid that was, a nice shiny little jellyfish right there. So I said, do you have And she's like, yes. I'm like, what kind is it? Because it depends on the kind. And she's like, it's, I don't know. And she's panicking, so she can't think to read the dish soap. Not processing in English, it's processing in Tagalog. And she's like, I can't think. I was like, okay, what color is it? It's blue. All right, what does the bottle look like? This. And it's like, oh, okay, it's done. So even through that, we got through it. And I'm like, okay, so just pour little dots throughout the stain, and I want you to get a cloth and rub it, a damp cloth and rub it. And animals to clean up animals and oil spills, right? That's one of the reasons I was like, oh yeah, done, like right away. And it's been good for every other stain that I've ever had. So she's like, oh, okay, okay. So she gets in there and she's rubbing it. And I'm like, don't rub, dab, dab. And she's like, dab, dab. And my niece is running around the house still covered in jelly, touching everything in sight, and she's cleaning this couch. And after about 15-20 minutes, she's like, it worked, it worked, it worked. And then she looks up and everything in the whole room is shiny. And she's like, I ran out of dish soap. And I was like, oh my god. So she had to go clean up the kid next and got her all cleaned up somewhat. Her hair still looked like an oil slick afterwards, but she couldn't do anything about it. And she cleaned up the best she could. But she called sister-in-law, the mom, who was at work, and she's like, honey, we have a problem. And she's like, oh no, what happened? Thinking like her daughter is hurt. And she's like, so we had a bit of an accident today. And it's like, okay, well, and she explained the whole thing. And she's like, can you just go and get some Dawn? Just bring home some dish liquid? Yeah, Dawn, dish liquid. She's like, okay. So she brings it home, and they spent like the next couple hours just scrubbing the house, degreasing the house from all the petroleum jelly. And then the kid, because she's still, for about a week afterwards, her hair was still really slick, and she has very fine, straight hair too, which is really funny. Oh man, I'm sorry, but it was just like... I can't stop laughing about it. Okay, I'm good. See, I'm crying because I'm just remembering that day. It was hilarious. But it does work. So, yeah, so nobody else joined us live today. And I haven't had any questions after the video being cut out about 3 times and trying to get over the giggles. And I will talk to you tomorrow, and I hope you guys like and subscribe. I hope this video was helpful in some way and wasn't just absolutely ridiculous as it started to end up being. And if you have any questions, comments, requests of anything you would like me to cover, feel free to let me know, and I will try and cover it in a future video. Oh, I have 1 viewer now as I'm signing off. Love it. Hi. But just let me know if you have any other ideas that you would like me to cover. I have a few ideas. One about subscription boxes for kids' used clothes, and buying secondhand online will be another one. And there was one request, I think it was Lorraine, also asked me to do a video on sizing. Which, if you're, it's gonna hurt your brain a little bit, but I'll do my best on that one, and it's gonna take me a few days to sort of get that one together because there's a lot of information, so be prepared. And I'll be holding up lots more samples and all that kind of business, but that'll be later on this week. And if anybody else has any other special requests for videos concerning kids' clothes, any of that kind of stuff, or anything like mom crap in general, I'm sorry for saying crap, it's just there's nobody here but me. So I can say whatever I want. But yeah, so if you have any requests for anything, mom related videos, feel free. Or even fashion related videos. Like, I know I'm not the epitome of fashion right now, but I do know quite a bit. Like merchandising, sales, any of that business. Ladies, men's sportswear, kids sportswear. I know what I'm talking about. So